Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of WWE Supercard with Ford of the Pizza Powers. I apologize for not having an upload 2 days ago. We had a big delivery at work. I kind of focused on that. We were doing long hours, 11, 12-hour shifts, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I could have probably maybe done something yesterday night, but I want to keep to the every other day schedule as much as I can, so I wanted to keep myself on task. And then this way, on Sunday night, you can see me, hopefully, grab that Neville. That's right there on the screen until I swiped away. So we got our semifinals. Yeah, obviously, I'm in the semifinals, but blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to take you back to earlier this morning when I woke up and I finished TJ Perkins, which is the Ultimate card. So let's head on over there now.
Hey, Michael.
Alright everyone, so here is where I am about to acquire my Ultimate TJ Perkins. You can see I have a couple title matches left over. And if you're looking at what I'm doing here, I'm backing in and out because I want easy. I want to face Ultimate Plus instead of Ultimate Plus Plus. I've put my deck at a place where I can face Ultimate Plus decks, which makes things a lot easier. Sometimes they're running the same thing that I'm doing, which is basically a full deck of either events or Ultimates Pros with 2 cards that are your bait cards, which I would show you here at the bottom, but I didn't get any of my bait cards, so this should be theoretically an easy win, unless I'm facing someone exactly like me. So I'm going to throw this Rusev here. He's probably my weakest card out of everything, and Brett is probably going to take him. Yeah, he's definitely going to take him in speed. So we throw that down there. We got the Brett we got to deal with. Either way, I have some picks saved. I only need 1 more shard, so TJP is going to be ours regardless of what happens here. And I'm going to try and take back that Rusev, because Reigns is just slightly better, toughness and speed, and but the speed is going to kill us. So that's going to be, yeah, I mean, yeah. So you start recording, and obviously you start facing people who are way more difficult than you expected. So, okay, we're down. I can easily take that Reigns back in the middle. I'm going to try and take this Reigns here on the right, take that back so I have 2, and then I can take that Reigns in the middle and see where else he's going to go. He's definitely going to go in the bottom center. That's just the pattern of these games. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe we can still pull this one out. I think we have a good shot, actually. Let's see here. I'm going to go there, because then I'll have 4. Ooh, I probably should have went down to the bottom, because then I could have maybe attacked with my Austin. But either way, I think here I'm going to have to attack with Dean, which I should have put Dean there, because Dean would have took Reigns easy. So I'm hoping they go upper left, and they don't. So I have 4, and I have, ooh, actually, yeah, I don't need to. So there we go. That's 5-4, pulling it out, even though we lost the first 2 matches that I, either my opponent or I initiated. You can still come back. So I guess 3 matches is the magic number where you're doomed. So we got the energy, got a lot of energy, and now we got TJP. So, yeah, you see I have picks saved up. I've been playing the bouts that I could since I woke up just to, build up my picks. And, ooh, look, we got a rare Ryback to finish things off here. So, I'm just going to pick these 18 picks, and then we're going to send you back to the video where hopefully I'll be on my path to event Neville, and we will see. I mean, it's pretty cool that Pac is getting an event card. I mean, I remember seeing him Pro Wrestling Guerrilla way back in the day. At NXT, he was the world champ down there, so it's great that they're giving him some sort of, like, a push, even if it's in a video game. And his feud with the Cruiserweight division and how he is the king of the Cruiserweights now, I'm digging that storyline. His facial demeanors have completely changed, even his in-ring work. That's how you kind of develop a heel turn organically. Like, he's on the shelf for a while, he comes back, has a completely new attitude, and you can see it in how he walks in and how he looks, and just even the fluidity of his moves is a little bit more stiff than they were before he was on the shelf. Or, well, actually, he came back from the shelf, he tagged with Sami for a while, Sami Zayn, and then they just didn't do anything with him for a month, so I could see, I guess they were building up for this. So no first pick, almost go through half the board. I'm just going to take a screen grab of that Ryback, because that's how I count cards here. Count pools, actually. I think I'm at about 115 or so. So yeah, we got TJP, and we're on the road to Neville. So we'll see what happens, I guess. This is my King of the Ring. Hopefully later tonight you're going to see what happens here. I believe it's going to be me and Harry in the finals, as long as I energize and get myself attuned to this, because Mike has beaten me a couple times, because I didn't energize. Like right here, you're going to see I was woefully under-energized, but Goldberg is going to beat Sami Zayn in most categories. So is Brett going to beat Seth Rollins. That tag I'm going to lose. The female tag I'm going to win. And then Brett versus Shane is a coin flip. So I have a very good shot at beating Mike in the semis, and we will see what happens from there. So back to the regular video.
For a bad business decision.
Look, I see you go. Oh,
All right, everyone. So welcome back. TJ Perkins is mine. I actually don't think I've even locked him up yet, so I'm going to do that right quick. I always lock up any of my cards that I have any intention of keeping long term, which TJ Perkins, while he's definitely going to be a better card than Darren Young, so he's still going to have a potential to make my deck depending on what the card is for next week in Road to Glory, if I get an ultimate pool from this King of the Ring, which is... It's a fact. I am definitely going to get an ultimate card in this King of the Ring, which is great. The last King of the Ring, I'm not even going to show you. It was humiliating. I got 2 elite cards. I got a Chris Jericho, who I already silver starred and used to train, my Dean Ambrose Ultimate Pro, and I also got a Titus O'Neil. But right now we got Harry and Edward in the semifinals. They're going to Game 3. Harry actually hadn't lost a game until the semis, so he is like whatever it is, he'd be 48-1 right now. So I fully expected to face him. I kind of still fully do. Perhaps he didn't charge up. Maybe he went to sleep thinking that it's in the bag. Doesn't look like that's the case. His females didn't go in his favor for the Alexa Bliss. Tag match is never going to work for him. And then I guess Bret Hart won with the proc. So hey, but I shout outs to Mike as well. Mike he beat me, I think, 2 or even 3 times during the actual regular season of this, but fully leveled, fully prepared. Brett beats Goldberg there in charisma, which is nice. They're 2 of the best charisma cards, so pretty amazing. But I guess I had the proc, so I had the luck on my side. The tag team match went my way. He won with Brett over Shane, which is fine. His Alexa won, but then my Goldberg pulled it out. Event cards are going to beat regular Ultimate single cards or regular Ultimate Pro cards any day of the week. So I'm excited. I'm curious what I'm gonna get. I don't really know what I want right now, what I need, because right now I am working on that Neville card. And once I get Neville and I get his duplicate next week from RTG, my deck will be completely full of Ultimate Pros. So anything else that I get right now is just gonna be minuscule improvements on my RTG deck, and that's about the only place it'll fit. And maybe in Ring Domination, you can see here's my deck, full on. You can see I have the Damian Sandow super rare card, and is that Adam Cole as a common. I just kind of grab whatever cards I have at the moment. I don't keep them long term. And then I have my Ultimate Pros, which include 2 throwbacks, 3 events, and then I was gonna say Rusev. And I wanted to call Roman Reigns Ryback for a second. But Roman Reigns, who's one of the best cards in the tier, and Dean, who I believe is one of the best cards in the tier. And I'm curious, I think Dean now, after all the games I played, should be probably better. Yeah, he's better than even Reigns. Wow, okay. So I'm going to just readjust him. And that's the actual strength of the deck. So there you go. We got that going. And I'm going to do the same thing you just saw me do before in the previous flashback to earlier today. I'm looking for someone who has an Ultimate Plus deck. So that's going to make it a lot easier for me to win. I believe I've lost once or twice during this RTG, but or Ring Domination, I mean. But it's very rare when you're doing something like this and you're playing a deck below your level, because you can be safe to assume that your cards are going to be better than theirs 90% of the time. So I guess that would be the hint for you, is to try to get yourself to the crack of the tier that you're in. If, like, you're, say, in Ultimate tier, and you want to remain in Ultimate tier, but you're like halfway up the bar, take your deck down a little further, and you'll most likely be able to face people in Elite Plus tier, or Elite Plus Plus tier, I mean. And that goes the same for if you're in Elite Plus Plus tier. Like the first Ring Domination I did this year, I was in Elite Plus Plus, I think, until I got the Ultimate card, pushed me up to Ultimate. But when I was in Elite Plus Plus, I dropped my card deck down to Elites, so that I was facing hard and Plus Plus decks. And it makes the whole event a lot easier, a lot smoother, and basically you're just susceptible to the luck of the board. And I've not had that great luck of the board right now. I bought 75 title matches. I've gone through them. I bought another 12 title matches. I've gone through them.
and I have 25 credits in my account, and I was hoping to get through all of January not spending much more than I already have, but I think in RTG, most likely I will spend another 600 because that grind takes forever, and I don't really have many cards I want to level up anymore. All my ultimates, except for Sheamus, my ultimate singles right now, have all their games played, so beyond that, it's just pulling cards off the board, which, I mean, I guess not playing plus 10s would mean I'd have a lot more cards, but it would take a lot more time, and I don't know if I want to put that time and effort and energy into that. So I guess it would mean that I'd probably be closer to getting a reset if I did it the freeway, and I'm at like 130 resets right now, so that would ensure that next RTG I would definitely get a reset. But I feel like I'm going to get another reset in about 20 resets, like another tier reset, say around the 150 mark, because that seems like where I've been getting my resets, and they've been primarily supports. I believe I'm 5 for 7 in pulling supports versus wrestlers. And I saw on Reddit that someone said that they had emailed Cat Daddy about whether supports actually counted towards your reset, or they reset your counter, and he said that they didn't. But I feel like that's a miscommunication, or maybe not a lie, but I think a misunderstanding. I think maybe he was asking about supports, or not supports, enhancements, and that's where that all came in. Or it's just someone just, poking the venomous, ravenous 2K Cat Daddy WWE Supercard fan base who just want to latch on anything that's a little annoying. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're the best company ever. I'm saying that they're probably woefully understaffed and things fall through the cracks. And that's not an excuse necessarily, but that's an explanation. I know recently they also sent out an email saying, hey, all your support tickets that you sent in for the past 2 months, 3 months, we couldn't get to them. They're too old. If you need this problem rectified, send us another. And I think that's them purging their previous support database. It doesn't make a lot of sense long term, but I can see where they're coming from when they probably have 2 or 3 people running customer service and they're working 60-hour weeks. And yeah, I mean, there's only so much time you have. Not saying that that's right necessarily, but this way they get rid of the people who A, stop playing WWE Supercard, who don't even really care about it, and B, actually it might even draw some players who put it down to come back to the game, because they might be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that game that I uninstalled a month and a half ago when they didn't respond to my support ticket. Maybe I'll pick this back up. And obviously it's going to turn off a bunch of long-term players as well. So it's a hit and miss sort of thing. I don't think it was the best way to handle it, but they handle it the way they did. And if you want to complain about it, they didn't say that you can't write another support in for the same exact issue that you had previously. And I've not actually had too much issues with them. I know early in Season 2 I had an ultra-rare Paige. It was a pro. It was my first female, at the time, Diva Pro in ultra-rare tier, and I was kind of annoyed that I accidentally hit the delete key on it. And Cat Daddy got back to me next day, gave it back to me, said, we can only do this so often. If you do this again, we can't guarantee we're going to give you your card back, but we do make a one-time exception, and just be more careful in the future, and I appreciated that greatly. And the other times when I've had issues, the only other time that I had an issue with Cat Daddy and they didn't respond, 2K Games actually did, because I sent them an email. I mean, I did have, but that didn't actually affect. I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, so I sent them, there was an issue. People were talking about glitches and blah, 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 blah recently, and I know JB put that video out where that one guy had 3 Alexa Bliss cards, but they were all singles. I know for my deck, at a certain point, I got soft banned from the game for about 16 hours. And that was because I had just pro'd my Goldberg event card. And when I pro'd him, he was still on my Money in the Bank deck, both versions. And I didn't have to take him out before I pro'd him. I think they fixed it by now. But at that point, basically both my singles became pros. And I played a game of Royal Rumble. I recorded it just to check, just to send it to them. Because I was like, hey, this is a glitch. You guys probably should look into this pretty quickly. And instead of them responding, they just soft banned me for about 16 hours. I was able to come back, and I think that was during, I don't know what that was exactly. That was during an event where the Ultimate card was probably a pro for me, which I think was the RD after the Goldberg RTG, which I think that was Baron Corbin, if I'm not mistaken. So we're doing pretty well here, completely ignoring the game. I'm 4 to 4 now. And I'll just use this up arrow. I could take the Austin, but no need. So it's hit and miss. It depends on who you get. It depends on the time of day. It depends how many support questions are going in. So, you know, you got to take it for what it is. Got to win this game. Hopefully I get a shard, though. But the shard pulls have not been kind to me. Like I said, I've done 88 title matches, plus however many I've pulled off the board in the meantime. Ooh, a shard. Ooh, piece of candy. So, yeah, you can see I'm only 7 pieces into Neville. I have a long way to go. I don't plan on buying any more pick doublers. I think I'm just going to grind it out from here because I could speed it up and I'd be done tomorrow afternoon and I'd have a card that's a single that doesn't make any of my decks, or I could just not pay the extra $5 and grind it out Saturday and Sunday, get close to my reset, keep getting energies for the next King of the Ring and the King of the Ring I'm currently in, and go from there. I mean, that's the most profitable version of playing this game for me right now. Don't get me wrong, I really do appreciate the ability to speed up your progress. And it doesn't mean that if I pay $5, I get automatically bumped up a tier or something like that. It's just doubles what you earn from every match, which makes it much quicker to progress, especially in the early stages of these cards. I kind of wish I saved about 10 pick doublers when I was towards the end of TJP, because that would have made things a lot easier for me moving ahead. But whatever the case is, you play it how you like. Don't spend anything, spend something. If you have the extra income, obviously, if you don't have the extra income, don't spend anything because you can't afford to live with spending a bunch of money on Supercard. But if you can and you want to support the game and the devs, you know, do what you like. I mean, it is what it is. It's a common problem in MMOs and social games and mobile games and anything that has like an online base, whether it's community or multiple players playing at the same time and playing against each other. And there are options, usually always, to purchase either items or cards or something that makes your deck better, that gives you an edge, an advantage. But without those sort of things that they could sell you, the game would be way less profitable. And I doubt that we would still be playing WWE Supercard because they wouldn't be able to pay for the servers that they're probably barely paying on for now. They wouldn't be able to pay for the 2 or 3 support people that are sending you these automated emails. They wouldn't be able to pay for art designers and graphic programmers and all that sort of crap. And, you know, if you can spend a little bit here and there, if you like a game, support it. If you like a TV show, buy it on DVD, buy it on Blu-ray, buy it on iTunes. Support what you like with your money, or else it may go away because it's not making enough money. Because we are a capitalistic society, and the only thing that matters in the end is the bottom dollar. And I know that's not something everyone wants to hear. It's not something I would want to believe as a life philosophy, but for our country, that's how especially entertainment runs. If things are entertaining, they assume that it's going to make money. And if it makes money, they'll make more of it. I mean, look at Fast and Furious. Look at, Star Wars. Look at the Marvel movies. And to a lesser extent, the DC movies. But, if it's profitable, they will continue pouring money into making more profit because America. So, you can gripe and bitch about the people who spend hundreds of dollars on packs, and you watch their pack openings, and you're like, rah, 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 rah. But without them, this game probably wouldn't be anywhere close to what it is. You wouldn't have things like Money in the Bank, which came during Season 2. You wouldn't have things like Royal Rumble that came now, and you wouldn't have them actually considering changing or tweaking PCC or certain events. They just wouldn't have that foresight or that ability or that functionality to do so. So, support what you like with your wallet. Support what you like online with your voice. It's the only thing you can do. If you want something and you don't go out and ask for it, you're never going to get it. And you can always go out and demand it, but it depends what it is, of course. And but you can't just not say anything. You have to say something. So. Right now, actually, also I've been watching some random Rumbles, and I decided to watch the 2015 Royal Rumble, where Roman Reigns actually he won it with The Rock coming out at the end, Big Show and Kane being giants who destroy people, and that is an interesting match to watch from a psychological perspective, and to look at it from how the crowd reacted, and to see if there's something that WWE could have done. Because I don't know how intimate you are with Remember the Match, but basically Daniel Bryan came out at 10 after a bunch of, nothing really happened, and the fans were really behind him, and then Bryan just gets dumped out, I think when 14 or 15 or maybe I think it was 16 came out. So 6 spots later, which is about 10 to 12 minutes, you throw out the guy who's getting the biggest pop. And then from there, good guys and bad guys alike are just getting booed out the building. I think the only one who didn't was Damien Sandow, who I believe is Aaron Rex in TNA. I don't watch TNA very closely, but he got a big pop, and they could have capitalized on that. They could have had him be in there longer, have some hope spots. They could have rewritten the match on the fly to match the crowd reaction, but they didn't. And we got what we got. We got people booing Roman Reigns pretty crazily, which honestly I think they were booing the idea of him winning more so than the guy. And the idea of having Kane and Big Show tossing out guys like Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose, which actually Bray had an amazing Rumble until he was just tossed out like a sack of potatoes. Basically completely undercutting and undermining the last 30 minutes that you used of the match to build him up as a dominant force. But come see, come saw. I also just watched literally today, and if you see me glance up every now and then, I'm watching the CM Punk The Rock match from the 2013 Royal Rumble, because I just watched that, and I had forgotten who won, and John Cena, obviously, but it was definitely a much more thought out and well-paced match than the 2015 was. You had Ziggler and Jericho in there from the beginning, being the Iron Man, doing the Bulldog Shawn Michaels thing from '95. You had Daniel Bryan coming in like a house of fire, giving everyone what they want. And then you have him eliminated organically through storylines with Kane. Bryan and Kane are arguing, and they're going to go through, what was it, psychiatric help? Or a psychologist. There it is. There's the word, because Kane already has problems in storyline. So yeah, and so Bryan decides to eliminate Kane, and then Bryan gets tossed out, Kane catches him, and then Kane drops him. So, you eliminate these guys that are getting massive pops, but you're telling a story and you're keeping it organic to their character instead of just punching them and tossing them out of the ring like a sack of oranges because they don't bruise. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see what will happen with the Rumble. If it exceeds my expectations, I may shell out money and try and get the WrestleMania, because it is a goal of mine to go to a WrestleMania before A, it ends, which is never going to happen, or B, I get too old to really enjoy it. So we'll see. I'm hoping for good things. I don't know. For the Rumble, it could be amazing or it could be a crapshoot. It could, you got Undertaker. You want to give it to him because you want to give the rub to the veteran. He deserves whatever he gets. But I feel like the Rumble should be used to build a new star. And they tried it with Reigns. It didn't work. They gave it to someone old with Batista, and it didn't really work. They gave it to Cena, and that was just because Cena rock. And it worked because they're two larger-than-life names, and you had a rematch from the year before. But, like Sheamus, his 18-second win over Daniel Bryan, while that worked for getting Bryan over in the long term, the match and the Rumble itself felt weird. Because, I just heard recently that apparently Jericho was supposed to win that match, and in the last minute they swerved everyone, including themselves, and chose Sheamus, which, I like Sheamus. I especially enjoy him in his tag team with Cesaro right now. I didn't mind him in League of Nations. I felt like him winning Money in the Bank last year was an odd choice, but what they did with Roman and him made it work. And when that happened, people actually started cheering Roman Reigns. And they somehow, they made that whole thing 180 on itself, because the League of Nations just fell apart and turned into Barry Horowitz and, Mr. Hole-in-One Barry Darso and the Gambler and insert fourth jobber here stable, which is insane because you got Wade Barrett, one of the coolest Intercontinental Champions. You got, Rusev, who's been fantastic, even when he has to deal with the Enzo Amore promos and, that storyline that I don't get. But, hey, whatever. Some of it's like throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks. And some of it is okay. Some of it makes me laugh. And most of it is just really? So, whatever. And then you got Sheamus, who I've been lukewarm on, but he's definitely got some talent. He's one of the better guys on the roster. I think they will be stupid of them to let him go, but I don't want to see him with the world title anytime soon. Oh, look, there you go. Okay, back to Supercard. Network error. Just so you know, if you guys get that, if you play a game and then you go back to your RD screen or your RTG screen, and it says you have one bout, you might not actually have that bout. That bout may have been a phantom bout, because when you actually hit play, you lose a bout, but then when you come back to the screen, graphically, it adds the bout back. It's a weird programming glitch that Cat Daddy hasn't ever fixed, or as far as I know, addressed. It's not. They're not taking the bout away from you. It's a bout that you never had. You tried to play it because graphically it told you it's there, but it wasn't actually there. So don't get too angry about it. It would be nice if Cat Daddy got in there in the code and tried to fix it and tinker with it, but I don't know what would happen if, say they did, and they cause an even weirder issue, like the tier where everyone was able to pull, in the team event, they were able to pull their tiers over and over and over because they reached their pity pool counter. Or these duplicate cards that are running around, I literally accidentally had 2 Goldberg event pros after the first event, and I didn't mean to. I played one game to show that, hey, these were actual cards and these stats were valid and blah, blah, blah. I recorded it. I sent it to you on YouTube to Cat Daddy, and I never got a response, but blah, blah, blah. So, like, these things have been happening, and they've been happening since the start of Season 3, and while I've particularly enjoyed Season 3, don't get me wrong. I think the new card artwork is great. Sometimes it's a little difficult to tell between Elite and Ultimates, but now that we've been playing it for a while, I feel like I got a handle on that. And ultimately, I've really enjoyed the Season 3 and the updated rosters. It's like, it's like playing Madden and paying for it every freaking year because it's new rosters, or WWE 2K17, It's just kind of something that, if you really like the game and you really like it, it's good to get yourself as updated and in the now as possible. So, but with that being said, there are still issues with it. It's not perfect. It's made by man. Men program the machines. The machines send it to us, and we play on the machines. But it's only as strong as man, and man is fallible. We make mistakes. Whether it is us playing and deleting a card, or Cat Daddy accidentally duplicating someone's card because it doesn't think it's there. So, whatever. Just know it's not personal. I don't think Cat Daddy's releasing a poor game just to release something. Obviously, they want something that is relatively well made to continue making money. Because if people are... you look at Steam and you look at all those games that are like free to play, or they're like $1, or they're beta early access, and they look like garbage, and then they release and they are garbage, and nobody's going to give them money. If anything, people are going to ask for refunds. So it's in Cat Daddy's best interest to make a good game, and I think for the most part they have succeeded with some faults. But if you want something perfect, don't play anything online. Don't play MMOs. Don't go play Overwatch, because they're going to be changing how characters interact and react to one another all the time. Don't go play Destiny, or don't go play Warcraft or Hearthstone, or all these different online games, because the developers over time, they tinker and they change the formula, so things are balanced. So people who have, they have a chance to compete whether or not they paid or not, or they have a chance to achieve to higher levels than they did previously. So let's see, maybe I get a face. Nope, no face for Neville. Let's see here. I'm hoping for 1 shard. Let's end this video with a shard. Nope. That's just like shard. Well, whatever. It's one of those things. We'll see what happens the next time. I will definitely be getting this Neville card. I have... How many days did I have? I have a day and 19 hours. So I should have enough. If I need to, I'll throw in some credits for title bouts as we get towards the end. If it's crunch time, if there's an hour left and I have 4 bouts and I need like 20 picks or something like that, I'll consider doing it then. But we'll see what happens. Ooh, actually, Fusion Chamber. Let's do that before we head on out. So I got Wrestlemania Fusion. I'm going to click here because right now Fusions, the only reason they have any meaning to me is the picture. Hey, click here. I'm clicking on you. Why are you not clicking? Let's try that again. Can I not click on the picture to see who I need to earn? That's bullshit. Because normally when you're building the Fusion card, you can click on this on the actual card itself. It'll show you a list of all the cards that you've either previously gotten or not gotten, depending on whether you have their card picture or not. And I was curious. I think there's 1 or 2 cards I haven't gotten. So I'm just going to get this card because I'm not going to bother with that. And it's Trish Stratus. Okay, I know that was one of the cards that I do not have because I did not have this image before now. I know I had Alita. I think I had Alita Wrestlemania Pro at some point for the Fusions. So, while Trish is a great card, I have her as an Elite. Sadly, that Elite Trish does not make my RTG deck anymore. But it does mean that I can put that image on the Elite and I can never use it, which is fun. So we need 5,000 more points. We need either a WrestleMania Pro or 2 WrestleMania singles. Let's see what we got here. I already pro'd Macho Man for the catalog, and I need one more plus probably like a common. You see all these are locked. It's because I've not pro'd them yet for the catalog, and I like to keep them as much as I can. Obviously, I do use them for training at certain points. Like there's a couple SummerSlam cards that I've gotten. Like I got a second Tyler Breeze, but I trained away the first one because I needed to. Well, I didn't need to, but I wanted to, so that I got my cards up really quickly. Well, okay. I thought I was at the level, but apparently I need another Survivor card, like a Survivor level card. I don't want to put the Legendary Legacy. Let's see if I have any. I have a Harley Race. That's gonna get me closer. And then I have an Epic. I have an Epic Bailey. How many? Ooh. I don't have enough cards here, do I? I need another like 400 points or something. Ooh, actually, I think I have an idea. Enhancements. I got a SummerSlam. That's gonna be overkill. So let's get rid of. What do we get rid of here? What do we get rid of here? Because I'm over by about 4,000 points. So if I get rid of this, I get rid of this. Actually, I'm going to put the support back in. Well, I could put a bunch of elite supports in there. I want to see how many points that is. 1,500 points, so I could just put that in there. That's pretty nuts. That means that these point totals are not going to go down anytime soon. So I'm going to put the table back in there. I'm going to remove this Undertaker. And yeah, okay, I'm back down to where I was. And let's see if I can get that back up. Nope, not in there. Let's see. I know this is riveting, me doing math. I don't want to do another SummerSlam, though. Let's see, WrestleMania. I think I got to do that. But I don't need this, so I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove that. Actually, I don't know if I would... Let's add those back in real quick. And I'm going to take out the table. Remove. I'm still good without putting the table in. And I'm probably still good if I take those both out again. So whatever, I'm going to remove, and I'm 15 off. So yeah, cool. Common, and we're good. So let's see here. I got the SummerSlam enhancement. I'm getting rid of 2 WrestleMania cards. All right, so Sami Zayn could be useful. I have his Ultimate Single. Would be nice to get his picture. Nakamura would be great. I have his Elite card. He's not going to be in any of my RTG decks anymore, shamefully. But I love Nakamura. We got Big E. We've got Bo Dallas, who I've gotten 3 times. 3 times! And I'm refusing the Pro because, you know, I'm saving fusions for Hardened level. I got Asuka. So, yeah, I've gotten everything but Sami Zayn or Nakamura. And those are probably 2 of my favorite wrestlers in this tier of cards that you could possibly get. I mean, I dig Joe. I dig Dallas. I dig Big E. Asuka is awesome. But those are the 2 guys, like, fight forever, man. Fight forever. And, like I said, tap forever. If you're enjoying this game, keep playing it. If you stop enjoying this game, go find something else to play. And, you know, just stay in communication with your team or leave gracefully if you have to. And, you know, figure things out. I'm enjoying the play of this game. If you guys find it more aggravating than enjoyable, go find something else. There's tons of other games out there. But if you really enjoy this and you enjoy the grind, you enjoy achieving or whatever it is, or getting cards or being like, oh, that's awesome, or whatever it is, you know, play as much as you like. It's entirely up to you. You get what you put out into this game, just like you get what you put into life. So yeah, thank you for tuning in again. Thank you for understanding about the day off. Hopefully that won't happen very often. I may even start doing this more often, hopefully. Get myself on a routine schedule so that it becomes just natural. But I do like the every other day right now. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Leave any comments or questions or concerns down below. And yeah, go team.